What's going on, everybody? And welcome to another episode of The Negative Degree, where negativity is reality. I am your host, as always, DJ Frostbite, but hopefully won't be using that name for long on this podcast. Before we get into the topic today, make sure you like, share, and subscribe on YouTube. You can follow me on all social media at Negative Degree Podcast. Sorry for the wait, everybody. I know I've been off my game for the 10 people who probably listen to this thing. Been dealing with a lot of stuff, been working, just been tired. One thing I've been dealing with is actually a reason why I wanted to talk about the topic for today. Been having car troubles. About a few months now. I was having problems with my car. It was overheating. Try to find out what the problem was. I did a antifreeze flush and a bunch of other different stuff, and then found out it's my water pump. Finally got that done, and I got a new thermostat. It's staying level. But Jesus, it's been a pain. I found out I need to get coil packs, which I don't know if that's really the problem. I know I need to get a tune-up on this thing to make it drive a little smoother. Then also the same day, I got my car fixed. The tire blew out while I was going to work. So yeah, that was a fun day. Still need to get a new tire. Probably gotta wait. I gotta wait till Monday. But trying to hold it. I'm trying to hold it together. Like I said, hopefully this spare doesn't blow on me before Monday, so I can still do what I need to do. But once again, make sure you like, share, subscribe. That way, I can get them YouTube views up, and hopefully people will want to watch this more. Join the Discord at Negative Degree Podcast. Join the Frozen Wasteland. Let's have a conversation. You can also ask me. You can also tell me what topics that you think you would like to hear on this podcast, and I will think about it, and then depending on what it is, might actually do it. So join the Discord, add me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram is at Negative Degree Pod. Add me in whatever. But yeah, going into the topic, cars, or just vehicles in general, they are a fucking hassle. Whether you buy used, whether you buy new, no matter what, it's always going to be some type of hassle. They always talk about with certain cars, it's really a hassle. Older cars, apparently, it's supposed to be better, according to my dad, because it's easier to fix. Newer cars, it's more electrical, or you got to take it to a dealer. You really can't work on it yourself. If you're someone like me, who is a big guy with huge-ass hands, it is really hard to try to fix on certain parts of your car because it can't fit. It's tight squeeze. Or if you're just like me and are mechanically inclined when it comes to cars, you got to pay somebody. But so the car I have, it's an older car. It's a 05, whatever. I know it needs some TLC. And paid way too much for it because of the pandemic and shit. This car probably should have been like $3,000, but I ended up paying $6,000. I had a few problems here and there, but just trying to get a car fixed, whether it is a street mechanic or going through a business, is a fucking hassle. So, like I said, I had to get a water pump fixed. I called about 4 or 5 different places, and every single, damn near every place I called, they were like, "Oh well, it's gonna be $300, $400, $500." It was one place where they were like, "Oh well, they wanted to check out the car first, so they wanted to run a diagnostic for $140, and then fix the car." So I was just like, "Yeah, fuck that." And the only reason I was saying that is because I found out how much the part is. My water pump was very inexpensive. It was $50. That's nothing. I spend that in a day on food. I'm not kidding when I say that. I get fucking down, but it is just the biggest hassle of One, trying to find somebody to fix it. Two, not having your car while they're fixing it. Because when I did get my car fixed, which thank you to Diaz Automotive on South Oliver, they did great work. But not having your car and having to take a Uber or a Lyft or try to call somebody to give you a ride, it is a fucking hassle. Then you gotta know if like they're gonna do a good job. Like, I'm glad that the guys did a good job who fixed my car, but I was really hesitant. I'm like, are they really gonna do a good job on this? Because some people you just don't know. Some people they just take your money and can do whatever to it. Looking at you, Jiffy Lube. Like it's just simple things where you really don't know if somebody is really knows what they're doing. Like they can be certified and whatever. That's just a piece of paper. Like shit happens over time. You go to the fucking doctor most of the times, and these motherfuckers barely know what they're doing, and they got PhDs and masters and doctorates and shit like that. So imagine the same thing with a mechanic. It's hard to find a really good mechanic. But it's just trying to find a decent car, especially now, is hard. It's so many different varieties. You hear so many different things about certain cars, and me, I do like Chevy. I'm a Ford guy as well. That's the point of both of my mom and my dad are just both crazy people. Like my mom loved Ford, my dad loved Chevy, but then somehow in between, I had to be with like Pontiac. That was like my first car, my first couple cars actually. And I've gone from Ford and Chevy and shit like that up before. Like I've had a Chevy, like I drive a Chevy Impala now. I had another one when I was a little bit younger. I've had a Ford Explorer Sports Track, which I love that fucking truck. I don't care what anyone says. That truck was nice. The tailgate was small, but I don't care because that truck took like $40 to fill up. When I had my Impala, it took 30 to fill up, and I could drive that thing forever. So I loved it. It was it was one of the cars it was one of the trucks I wish I can get back now, but I know I can't fucking afford it now. But it's so many different things of like going to a dealership and just being like, what like it has to meet the standards of what you're really looking for. Because I'm someone where I need leg room for one. I definitely need leg room. I'm 6'5". I can't be like sitting somewhere and my knees are hitting the fucking steering wheel. I need something that's gonna give me the leg room. If I wish more cars, and I don't know if most cars do have this, but like when you can adjust the steering wheel like up and down, I wish they had it to where you can like pull it out a bit. So like if I wish I had like something where you can pull it out so that way it was closer to you instead of like having my arms like this. Have it in a little bit more. Definitely need trunk space because that's just essential in anything. Not even just in my case. Like trunk space would always be nice. And especially for a car, for like a truck or something like that. They're gonna give you that space anyway. I guess for like certain people, you want towing power, especially when you have a truck. Just in case you gotta haul some shit. I'm not really big on just like trying like speed and shit like that. Like I don't really give a fuck about like engine shit like that. As long as the shit is good and it can get me where I need to go, I'm not in a fucking rush. Like I'm doing 60. I'm doing between 60 and 75 depending on what the fucking speed limit is on the street. I don't really care about that. I'm not doing fucking 90 on the highway. I haven't done that shit since I was probably like 21, and I fully opened up my car before. I did like 140 that said on the dash, which it was cool, but at a certain point I was just like, yeah, this shit is not making any noise. Well, yeah, like I said, it all depends on what your needs are. It's a lot of people who they have kids, so it's like, all right, is it going to be enough? Is the back seat's going to be big enough for the child seats? That way they're not kicking your fucking seat. Most people they care about how long the tailgates are for like trucks when they get pickup trucks, which I kind of get it, but I never really understood it until I actually had a tailgate on a truck, and I'm just like, okay, now I get it. Because some people like they haul big shit, whether it's 2x4s or if you do stuff like work in apartment complexes, you switching out like stoves and refrigerators and whatever, or you're even just doing it for your own homes. The shit's fucking essential. Like SUVs and vans, a lot of people want that third row seating. That's honestly do like the third row seating. I've had a van before that had the third row where you can sit it down and then basically that was your trunk. I love that. I wish I can get another van. I don't care what it looks like. If it's a soccer mom, family dad thing, like I don't care. I would rather take a van over anything in the world. Vans are the most spacious shits I've ever driven in my life. I had no problem with putting anything in the tailgate. I forgot what they call their shit, but I never had a problem putting anything in the trunk or whatever the fuck the thing is. I forgot the name of it. It was amazing, amazing. Like if I didn't have this car, if I could sell my car right now to get a van, I would. Like over any truck, over any car, no matter what, I would rather get a van or even like a decent SUV, just so I can have that space when I'm driving. I don't have nothing when I'm driving and I got like gigs and stuff. I know everything is in the back of the van. Nothing's like behind me or anything like that. If I need to take somebody with me, they can sit in the passenger seat or in the back seat, whatever like that. And all of my stuff is in one place. I have a huge problem right now with my car to where I do not have the trunk space or the back seat space to put a lot of stuff. My trunk is fairly big, but it's not like a tailgate or like a van where you can just set it, forget it. I gotta Tetris some shit. Where especially when I do weddings, I take totes and speakers and all this other stuff. It's trying to put stuff in ways to where it can all fit. To where with a van or a truck, it just slide it in there, cool, it's whatever. So that's one thing with cars and vehicles you gotta like figure out before you start buying something. Then, depending on who you're talking to, whether it's a dealership or buying it from someone, because I've had both experiences. They're gonna try to especially with car dealerships, they're gonna try to dick you over a bit. That's kind of what happened to me. They don't really want to haggle, or they want to basically just get whatever. They want to get whatever out of you, which sucks because I'm like, you would think these people want to give you a great deal on a car. No, they care more about getting their percentages up and getting their money than you leaving out with a decent car. Certain people do. A lot of them, they don't. And I know people who work in dealerships who try to give people their best value. Where other places, they're just like, hey, you want the car? Pay this much. It's out of here. Me, when I got my car, I gave these motherfuckers $1,100 down, and then they wanted an extra $500 afterwards. And it made me so mad because I'm just like, I have this much money. The car is only $6,000. Why do I have to pay more? And I hate it so much because not only did I have to pay, not only did I pay $1,100 down plus another $500, I'm still paying like $180 or $200 every 2 weeks. It's madness. Then on top of that, car insurance. Car insurance, depending on who you have, is fucking expensive. I hate it. I wish it didn't exist. Or not even that it didn't exist. I wish that people would make it fucking cheaper. Because if everybody needs car insurance, why is it so goddamn expensive? My car insurance on its own is almost $200. Jesus, could you imagine $2,000? It's almost $200 for my insurance. Even when I was younger, when I was like, why is my insurance so much? It was like, oh, you're under 25. Then when I was old enough, when I was 25 and now I'm 28, and I was like, why am I still paying so much for car insurance? And they're like, oh, you only have one vehicle. I was like, so I was punished when I was younger because I was punished as when I was younger for being too young. Now I'm being punished for not having more than one car. Why? This makes no sense. It is the most dumbest thing. I can't even get my words together. But it's the most asinine thing of being like, oh, well, you're too young at this point, so this is why it's so much. Like, oh, you're finally 25. Oh, you only have one car? Oh, sorry, it's still gonna have to be this much. I'm just like, it makes no goddamn sense. But well, I got that process, and like I said, it's all the intricate things about cars where certain cars you might have to it's they take different oil or different uh, coolants, you know, different rim sizes and whatever, blah blah blah. Or you want to trick it out, you know. I wish my car had remote start or just a push, like just a remote in general, so I can get in and out easier in my car instead of having using the key. It's it's just so many things with cars and vehicles where I know certain features make it a little bit more, but I mean at a certain point it's like just add it on. Like I think damn near every new car somewhat probably has like push button start, or some of them at least do. Because I used that was like a more luxury car thing. Now just like, oh yeah, push button is damn near in everything. My dad told me he was driving, I think a 2020 Hyundai Sonata or something, and it was push button. I'm like, it's just gonna get to that point. I'm like, what's going to be the next thing? Which, well, we already have the next thing of you can start your car with an app on your phone. Like I've seen that on like certain pickup trucks and like certain luxury vehicles and stuff too, where you can connect your phone to your car and have it warming up for you before you get there, or warm it up or cooling down so you can have the AC on. And certain stuff like that is cool, but I'm just like, do you really need it? I'm like, that's kind of what the remote is for. Just click the remote and it'll start up and it'll turn your shit on. I kind of feel the same way with like certain technologies for like household appliances where, you can control it with your phone and turn the fucking temperature up or down on your like Google thermostat or whatever. I'm like, this is a little bit too much. I'm sorry, it kind of is too much. I know it's a ease of convenience thing, or like a ease of life and all this stuff thing, and try to be futuristic, but it's a little bit too much. Like a car is a car. It's supposed to get you where you're going, and that's like the basis of it. Like I know they want to show like the cutting edge technology and having all this stuff. Like there are certain things that are, I feel like that are good and should be essential on most cars, like a backup camera. That should be a thing. A backup camera should be on most cars. Most, if not all cars, because people can't fucking drive and they can't fucking see. Um, I know. I think it's like Ford or something that does this to where they have like a tow assist thing, to where it's like a knob to where you can control what you're towing, so that way it's easier to back up or whatever. Something like that, especially if you're like in a big business or you tow a lot of shit or you have something that you like, you're going out of town and you got, I don't know, a fucking boat or some shit, I don't know, that you got towing. It's easy to have. Stuff like that, it should be essential on cars. But being able to fucking connect your phone to a fucking screen or doing all this shit should not be. Having a GPS in your car, yes, so that way you're not on your phone doing the shit. Which I will say, they do need to make GPSs in certain cars better. I don't know, maybe that's like an update thing that has to be done on certain cars, whatever. But they need to do something different. I don't know if what they go through with the GPS stuff, whether it's TomToms or Garner, whatever the hell it is. But they can do better. If fucking Apple and Google can do better fucking maps and GPSs, y'all can too. Uh, I'm real. I'm sorry, y'all. I woke up not too long ago, and I am fucking hungry. So my brain is barely working today. I gotta stop doing this podcast when I like just wake up or I have like no food in me. But there are also other things with cars that take a lot of your money away. You got you get plates and stickers. Depending on where you live, you gotta have a window sticker. When I used to live in Chicago, that was a big thing of having a window sticker. They were like $20, like 20, $30 or something like that. There are certain places where your plate is not just a standard amount. I know in Indiana, and I think here in Kansas, depending on the year of your car, it can be a lot of money. I spend like I think $35, $40, for a plate. Certain places you get more than one plate. I know back at home you get two plates. You get a front and a back. Here in Kansas you get one. When I lived in Mississippi you get one. I don't know with certain states, you get two. I know I've been seeing like Florida they have like one. Because I just see like shit everywhere. I think Iowa you get one. I think it's like one or two. I'm not entirely sure. So it all just depends on where you live. But yeah, I know people who have like newer cars and like, oh yeah, I spent $500 on my license plate. I was like, fucking hell. And that shit adds up. Like a car is legit. Like I think a car is probably more expensive than a fucking baby. Hey, that's a topic I'm going to get on a different day because I hear a lot of people talk about like the pets versus baby thing. I'm gonna get on that in the next episode. That was gonna be this one, but I want to talk about cars because it's a little bit more personal. But yeah, it's like depending on what car you have, that shit could be legit more expensive than having a fucking kid, and it is sad. Like if you have a newer car and you live in one of those states where you have like you got to pay like so much amount of money to get your license plate, then depending on what you got, your insurance could be hella fucking expensive. Then gas alone. So let's get into that one. Certain cars, you're not just getting fucking regular gas. You might have to get, fucking premium gas. And I know during that pandemic, that shit was fucking expensive. Like at least the past couple months, that shit was like hella expensive. It was like damn near over $5. I got someone who I know who he has a diesel truck, spending some dough. And that fucking sucks. Like, if you have a diesel car or truck and you see in the prices of diesel right now, I know you are hurting. And I feel sorry for you. Like I thought I was bad with fucking just regular gas at like it was when it was like almost $5. Like y'all was almost like at $6. So shit. Like it's they make these cars run on like the most craziest shit, and we're always talking about biofuel and all this other stuff, and I'm like it's no better. I'm like if you could make your own diesel, it probably would be, but that's something I would have to get into. Like I'm not sure how to make my own gas. I think I could probably make fucking biodiesel and shit like that. It's probably some research and shit. But it's just way too fucking much. Like, I think a couple people that I know they have, like I said, they have diesel trucks, spending like $200 and over on their fucking cars. And then if you just have like Challengers and Chargers and stuff like that, where they have like the Hemis and stuff like that, or even like Cadillacs where they gotta take premium gas. You can only put premium gas in it. Like if it has like a sticker where it says it takes premium gas, you have to put it in there, because if not, you will fuck up your car. And it already doesn't take that much to fuck up a car. Yeah, send some comments in the chat. I'm live, y'all. So send some comments, send some chats, and some questions. I'm live on Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. So send in some stuff. But it get like gas. It's a fucking hassle sometimes because you gotta have it in the car, and it also is a thing of like if it's over half, that's when it really starts fucking going down. You can have some of the best gas mileage in the world, which I feel like isn't really a lot of cars. To me, I feel like a lot of places they could like a lot of companies and stuff they could make a car or a truck with like 50 miles per gallon, like 50 miles to the gallon, whatever, like that. I feel like they could do that, but it's like, oh no, because then is it really benefiting them? And I'm like, yeah, it really would benefit y'all because this would be a car that everybody would fucking drive. Just like now, with everybody with trying to get electric cars, like Teslas and shit like that. It's beneficial because you wouldn't have to run on gas that much, and if you did need to get gas, I mean, hey, get some gas. They have electric in there. Boom, you got your backup. Like if I had the money, I would probably get a Tesla. No matter how shitty fucking Elon Musk is, I'd probably get a fucking Tesla and see how far I can drive that thing. It'd be hard because it's like a lot of places don't have Tesla charging stations. Oh, I think it's like Nissan with the I think it's a Nissan Leaf or something like that. I'd buy that. If it was big enough. I think that's the main thing of like if you're gonna do electric, it's trying to find something that probably is like the hybrid of like electric and like still gas or whatever. Maybe even diesel because diesel is supposed to like burn slower. It's supposed to be a little bit better. I mean, I'd fucking rock with that. But it's just too much shit with cars where it's just spit like it's every little thing is just spending money out. Then if you're someone like me who is like always on the go, you gotta check your tires and then you gotta check fluids, check shit that I probably have no idea if I'm checking the shit right or not. Like I said, I am not mechanically inclined at all. I took auto shop in high school. I learned a lot of stuff and forgot about that shit over the years. It's been 10 years since I've left high school, and all the stuff that I learned from fucking auto shop and stuff is out the fucking window. Like we would change the fucking struts and doing like, and I know how to do an oil change, but I don't have the time for the shit. I can rotate my own tires. It's basic stuff I know I can do, and I try to do it sometimes. But certain times I'm just like, I will just take it to a fucking shop and let them do it. These people make a living doing this shit. Give it to them. I'll pay them, and let's go from there. I know now with the age of fucking YouTube, you can find all this shit and do it yourself and save the money. I couldn't be arsed. I could not be arsed. And I know I said that shit as Irish as fuck, but I can't. I can't be arsed. And I don't. And if anyone doesn't know what the fuck that means, it was like, I I can't be bothered. That's but like can't be arsed means I can't be bothered. I'm like I have a limited amount of time in the day, or most, but in the day slash night of trying to get shit done, and I would rather use my time and energy to do other things aside from working on the car. Sorry. Could I learn how to do this shit? Yes. Would it take me some time? Yes. But to save myself the time and the stress and me cursing out loud in my fucking apartment complex, I would rather find somebody who is reasonable and have them fix it, pay them, and know that my shit is good. Because they will tell you stuff that you won't know about your own car. Like, for instance, what I was talking about earlier with my water pump. He told me about the water pump, thermostat, like switch both of those out and fix them. And then tell me about coil packs, which I just need to get a tune up. I wouldn't have known that if I did that shit myself. Or it could have been told, like he would have told me about some other shit, and I'd be like, oh damn, I didn't know about that. No, even when I got my antifreeze flushed, the guy at Meineke told me about my water pump. I wouldn't have known about that shit. I didn't know what the hell my water pump is until like a few months ago. That's something else I kind of do hate about certain cars and stuff, let's say going back to like trying to fix on them, a lot of stuff is just like very tightly put together. Like if you ever look at certain engines, it isn't just like if you go from like older engines to like now, like everything is just tightly together. You just can't like touch one thing, get in there and do and take shit out. And I do kind of hate that. And also at the same time, I don't fuck with shit. And it's probably the reason why, my cars probably don't last as long. Hey, that probably issue. Also the fact that a lot of shit, like I said, shit's just fucking expensive. Trying to put maintenance on a car will always be expensive. Like year after year. Like I remember getting oil changes for like $20. Now they're like 50. I was like, God damn. I'm probably gonna get to the point where I'm just gonna start doing this shit myself. But in reality, probably not. Like I'm just gonna save up the cash, take it somewhere. Hopefully have a coupon because we all love a fucking Jiffy Lube or Meineke or whoever fucking oil alley, which I don't think they even have here. But whatever fucking oil change place coupons, they'll be like, oh yeah, have this thing, and get it done, and then be done with your life. They take like 20 minutes and they'll do whatever. Some places, or I remember this one guy I used to work with, he said he took it to a place where it was like $80 for a fucking oil change, but they'd like wash your car and stuff like that. Speaking of that, I do need to wash my car later or tomorrow. Like, it's just so much things that need to be done and like cared for. Where, like I said, it's like having a child, somewhat. You try to make it last for as long as you can, and you might fuck up. And the only thing different with a car and a child is if you fuck up with a car, you got to spend more money and just get another one. If you fuck up a kid, the kid is just fucked up for the rest of his life. More on that on the pet episode. It's like I said, it's really just a struggle. Like especially if you don't know what to do with your car. Like everybody can, well, not everybody. Most people can drive a car. Most people. When shit goes down, you are fucked. And I've had it to the point where I had to wait to get a car, and it's ass. And I don't want I'm the person where I don't want to fucking take the bus. I hate taking the bus. I don't want to fucking Uber. If you're someone who fucking Ubers everywhere, or like Ubers or Lyfts or anything like that, you must make a lot of money. Or you must live in a very small town. Because I've Ubered I've Ubered and Lyft a handful of times. And I would never want to do that shit ever again. The amount of a Uber is like, if you Ubered every single day in a week, you basically spent enough money to fill up like 10 people's tanks probably. Like there is no way you could financially be able to Uber every single place. From where I live to like certain parts of town, it is between like $15 to $30. There was no way I could fucking do that every day. No goddamn way. Like I would probably go broke. Like even trying to go from here to like downtown would still cost me like depending on the time, because a lot of a lot of people, well, like a lot of those companies, they have like surcharges where they know when like their prime time shit is, and they'll bump that shit up. So you think like a $12-13 ride, it's probably be like fucking 30 almost. And nobody fucking wants that. Like no one wants that. But I see people who, they Uber and Lyft all these different places, or like even people who take the bus. I'm like, that fucking, like, taking the bus, that shit takes dedication. It really does. Like you have to be out there waiting for this fucking thing, rain, sleet, snow, heat, whatever, and just riding on this fucking thing, and it takes forever. It's slow. You got all these other people on there. Motherfuckers probably be stinking and shit like that. I admire people who fucking take like subways and trains and stuff too. It was like I know like in New York and even back in Chicago where like the L is like a big thing for people to get on. I just can't do that shit. Like it, like the few times I have taken a train, it's just like, all right, when can I get off this thing? And just like driving in a big city. Well, honestly, even driving in a small city, because this where I'm at is I still consider it small. It's no better either, because you got traffic, you got people who can't fucking drive, car accidents all the fucking time. Since I've lived here, I think I've probably seen 100 car accidents in the past the 3 years ongoing it's about to be. I've probably seen 100 fucking car accidents, and that is very sad. I've seen more car accidents here than I have in any other state I've been in. And like I said, I've only lived here within like in Wichita. I'll say in Kansas, roughly almost 10. Like it'd be almost 10 years. But the fact that most of my life was spent in Chicago, I've seen less car accidents in Chicago than I have in the fucking city of Wichita and the state of Kansas. That's very fucking sad. Hey, Wichita, do better. Kansas, do better altogether. Get off the meth, get off the coke and all that shit, and learn how to fucking drive. Get off your cell phones. That's another thing too. Get off your cell phones and fucking pay attention. I have never I've never been in a city where I've seen more people not paying attention while they're driving. What the hell is wrong with you? Like, I don't understand how you are on the phone looking the wrong way and trying to turn left and not looking both ways. They tell you this as a child trying to cross the street is look both ways. You can't do this while you're in a car. What is wrong with you people? You're in a car on the phone or texting somebody or just not doing the basic thing of looking the other way while driving. It's fucking stupid. The amount of times I've almost got ran over by people not fucking paying attention is, and this is going to a fucking grocery store. I've seen accidents with people leaving a fucking Dillon's parking lot, let alone the fucking street. I've even made jokes about this like on stage, where I talk about people getting in car accidents trying to fucking go to Chick-fil-A, and that's actually happened before. Like I'm sorry for like laughing about it, but it's fucking hilarious. It's like you are trying to get to one place that bad, to where you are not paying attention what the fuck you like, what the fuck's in front of you, on the side of you, behind you, any of that. Another big thing, like especially with cars, is dealing with like weather conditions, and going back with accidents. People, slow the fuck down. If it's raining like hard, streets are fucking slick and slippery. You trying to do like 15 or 35 and then trying to hard brake ain't helping you. I don't care what tires you got. You can have fucking non-slip tires like fucking people have shoes in restaurants. Them shit still gonna slide. Slow the fuck down. And all you motherfuckers with 4x4 trucks trying to speed in snow and ice, you're just gonna slide off the fucking road. I've seen this happen so many. I saw this happen when it like a few months ago, because we've been getting fucking snow since April now. Motherfuckers in 4x4 trucks being stuck on the side of the road because they just want to speed. Like 4x4, it doesn't mean it's gonna get you through the fucking snow doing like 65 miles an hour on an icy highway. No, still slow the fuck down. You can still drive the truck, yes, but not at fucking top speed. Also, I think just people in certain places, they're just not used to certain weather conditions. Like, I think Kansas in general, if it's not fucking like 60 and sunny or something outside, y'all can barely fucking drive. It could be a sprinkle of rain out, and there will be like a 10 car pile up on the side of the road. Yeah, people just do better. But that's stuff you gotta look out for when you have a car, because people don't fucking pay attention. You know, that that's basic. That's literally basic driving 101. Is pay attention to your surroundings. Now I sound like my dad because he tells me this every single time I talk to him, was pay attention to your surroundings. And honestly, living here, gonna have to. Going on, like being on the road in general, you have to pay attention to your surroundings when you're in your car, because other people aren't doing the shit. It is the most frustrating thing in the world where, you are just trying to get somewhere, and people are, riding your ass because they want to do, like I said, 50 and a fucking 35, and you try to do the fucking speed limit and shit like that, or just trying to get where you need to go, or you know shit, getting pulled over for some dumb shit. Like cars are just the weirdest thing. I know I'm talking about other shit aside from cars, but it's so many other things about, like, when you have a car. It's distractions. It's other people around you that you got to watch out for. It's not just the car itself and trying to maintain it. It's just trying to it's trying to be a part of, like, not be a part of the community. That's the wrong thing. But when you're on the road, it's you know seeing, like, trying to react to what fucking people are doing. Mm. And a lot of people, they take advantage of, like, having a fucking car, where it's like, oh, I got a car, I can do whatever the fuck I need to do. It's someone like me, which I'm not gonna talk about my situation, but people fucking driving with no licenses and shit, and certain other people doing shit they're not supposed to. They fuck it up for a lot of people. It's, like I said, it's the people who want to speed up and down the fucking street and trying to fucking zigzag and trying to get in front of people and stuff. It gets annoying a lot. It gets fucking annoying. It's like, if you're one of those like, what? First of all, unless unless your girl is in fucking labor and you trying to get to the hospital, or you are, like, dying from some shit like that, that should be the only reason you should be fucking speeding on a fucking regular fucking street. Like, that's the only way. Like, unless you are dying, someone you know is dying, or you are a girl, or your girl is in labor, is the only reason. Or a kid is fucking, like, really, really sick. Is the only fucking reason why anybody should be fucking speeding. I'm not even trying to rephrase that. I'm not even counting the fact of, like, trying to take a piss or trying to take a shit, nothing like that. Hold it in. Like, I've been in that situation where I've had to fucking take a piss or take a dump really, really bad, and I'm fucking driving. Like, I still got like 20 miles to fucking get to wherever. Hey, you gotta hold it. Like, either hold it or fucking go on the side of the road, especially if it's a piss. Like, get to the side of the road, take your piss, and get back to where you gotta go. Like, if you gotta take a dump, sorry, gotta hold that shit into wherever you gotta get into. But fucking flying down the street because you had to do that ain't a good enough reason to be fucking speeding anywhere. Or just being a dick and just want to fucking drive fast because you got some type of fucking car. Don't need to do that. And if you are one of those people, I'm not going to say what I was about to say, but you kind of figured what I was about to say. What's up, JT? I see you. But, yeah. There's a lot of things, like I said, when it comes to cars or just vehicles in general, where it might not be a good fit for you. It just could be something where you really just need something, just to get around. That's been my thing for the past couple of years, where I didn't really care what I had, as long as it was nice. It had all four fucking wheels. It had all windows. I had one, my van. It was missing the fucking a mirror. It was missing a side mirror. So I was, like, checking, like, I was looking back all the fucking time and stuff like that. It's a lot of shit. like I said, I get it. Like certain people, they care about what their cars look like, and to a certain extent, I do. I don't want to be driving something that's, I got a fucking a black car and it's got a blue driver's side door and a red, passenger like rear passenger door, some shit like that, and then a yellow fucking side mirror and shit like that. Like no, but if it's a decent car, I'll drive it. If it runs, it sounds good, it's not shaking, shit like that, I'll drive it. I've had fucking cars. I had a car. My oldest car was like a 1990 Buick, and I drove that shit legit till it stalled. And it was one of the saddest days. I got that car for like $300 from a scrapyard. I drove that thing from Garden City to Wichita when I first moved here. I had that thing, I think, up to 2 years ago, I think. It was a two-door. I hated the fucking thing because it was two-door, but I was like, hey, beggars can't be choosers right now because I needed a fucking car. I had that, and I had a fucking 92. I had a 92 Pontiac. Yeah, it was Pontiac. 92 Pontiac. And that car, I was the same way. And that car was missing a lot. I bought that car off somebody. It was 250, I think like 200 or $250. I bought that shit. It was missing the horn. It didn't have a fucking, like, it didn't have a key to it. Like, I was legit driving a car with a fucking flathead screwdriver, like, having to start it up. Like, that was my key. So I'm going from having, like, dirt-ass cars that needed to be fixed to having something now where it's, like, fairly decent but still has some problems. And I've had cars to where they were completely fine. They weren't, like, super, super new. I don't think I've ever had a car that was even, like, 2010. But I mean, like I said, as long as they look nice and they run and it has features that I want, I'll take it. Like I'm not the person where it's like, oh no, I need to have a brand new car. It needs to have this and blah. Like no, I'm a simple person when it comes to like car shopping. Give me trunk space. First, give me leg space. Give me trunk space. Give me enough room in the back, and make it easy enough for me to, if I need to work on it, I can. But if not, it's not gonna charge me up the ass for when I go take it to somebody. Which, unfortunately, that's just gonna be what it is because now when you take it to a shop, they're gonna charge like bring the lube with you. I'm gonna say it like that. If you are taking this to a shop, bring the lube with you because they're gonna fuck you up the ass. They're really going to, like, because they're gonna make sure they get that labor in there. The part, like the part, isn't the thing you gotta worry about because they can get that shit. You can look up the fucking part of a car and see how much the shit is. That's not what's gonna kill you. What's gonna get you is them adding the fucking labor to it because that's what happened to me. Like I said, the water pump for my car, like I said, was between $45 to $50. But every other fucking shop, aside from the one that actually that fixed my car, they were charging labor up the ass. Shit, even fucking when I take my car to Meineke, they fucking charge me with hella labor up the ass, and I'm just like, it shouldn't be this. Like when I got my car fixed the other day, guy said, "Hey, $100 plus whatever the amount for the parts, or you can bring your parts in and it's just $100." I would have been, and honestly, I was fine with just them going to get the part because they were getting it from O'Reilly's. Or he was like, he even told me, he was like, oh, you can bring in your parts and we can put it in, which probably next time I will do, probably, because when they do my tune up and my coil packs, I'm gonna have all that shit. They'll be like, here you go, put it in, here's your money. Probably give them a little bit extra because they do good work, if they really do good work, and boom. But going somewhere and then being like, oh well, we have to do this and it's gonna cost money, and then you gotta do this and blah 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 blah, and your estimate, because they never tell you the actual price, they just give you an estimate or whatever. And I'm just like, no, just give me the actual fucking price, so that way I'm not showing up with a certain amount of money and you tell me it's more. Also, and I haven't experienced this yet, but I've heard this from certain people, where you go in for one thing and then they'll fix that and then try to fix something else on top of it and they'll charge you for it. I'm just like, I didn't ask you to do that. But I know in my experience, I've had a lot of like very expensive car care. When I was 19, I had this Pontiac Bonneville. I think it was a 0102 somewhere around there. My first car that I bought cash, like bought it straight cash. It was like after my mom passed away, and I was like, I needed a car. You know, my granddad had gave me this fucking little ass Sunfire that I can drive around with, but I was like, this thing is too small, and I did notice this like from when I was younger to when I got older. My thing with cars kind of got a little bit different. You know, when I was younger, I was more about trying to get trying to get girls in my fucking car. Now I kind of really don't care. Like my cars do look nice, but I'm not really trying to impress a girl. I care more about it myself because I want it to look a certain way. That's why I was just like, I'm not gonna buy a car where it's missing this and that, blah 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 blah. Blah. Which my Buick, it was missing a lot of shit. Fuck thing that didn't even have fucking door handles. I had to open this shit with a fucking string. And you think I'm joking? I'm not. But yeah, the most I've had to spend on a car, I think I spent like 4 to 6 grand, which might as well just bought a new car. But me being 19, so what I had to buy, it was like between like 3 to 5 grand, somewhere around there. But bought this car, and me being 19 and being like, oh, well, it's my responsibility to take care of it, blah, 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 blah. I had to get a new transmission on this car. Like, brand new transmission. It took them a few hours to put it on, and it cost me, I think, like 4 grand. And in the back of my mind, well, it especially, well, me now, knowing what happened, I should have just got rid of the car and bought a new car. I could have got a truck. I could have got something else, and probably would have had that car for car or truck, whatever, for a while. But no, me not knowing anything and me being young and stupid, because yes, I was fucking stupid, and being like, oh, I need to take care of this, because like that's what all your parents tell you at that time is you're responsible for this car. You have to maintain it and take care of it. Blah 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 blah. And I didn't have that person being like, oh, dude, just take this fucking car back and get something else. Like, he ripped you off or it's a limit and shit like that. No, I didn't have those fucking people. It was me being like, I need to take care of it. I have the money. I gotta do what I need to do. Then I had to spend money on other shit ignition coils more than once. So like, this car was a piece of garbage. You even had to get a new battery for this thing. It was just sad. And hey, I learned from experience, don't do shit like that. If a car is a piece of shit, take it back. If they don't want to do shit, be like, hey, look, this car is fucked up. I want something different. Whatever I need to pay, however much I need to pay to get a different car, give it to me. But this is bullshit. And I know dealerships probably ain't gonna do that shit or whatever. I don't know. Everybody gotta go through a legal route with that shit. But it is annoying. Like, it's a whole variety of fucking problems when it comes to cars that you can deal with, stuff that you can't deal with, and stuff you probably gotta take legal action with. That's why it's like, be careful what you get. Make sure you are happy with what you have. Take somebody with you who knows about cars. They can tell you, oh, hey, well, there's a problem with this, da da da, blah blah blah. That's what I need to start doing from now on. Instead of just going somewhere and be like, hey, I need a car. I have this much money. What can I get? I need to do something where I bring somebody with me who knows shit about cars and be like, all right, this is decent for the price that you're getting. Or, all right, I see this is going to be a problem. This is going to be a problem. This is going to be a problem. You need to lower that price. Like, I know that's where I'm bad at with cars is I can't fucking haggle for shit because I probably could, but there's a point where I was like, look, I need a fucking car. Kind of what happened with me with the car I have now. It's like I need something because I need to get on the fucking road, and I am not trying to take fucking Ubers and Lyfts every single goddamn day and spending like $50 to $60 on a fucking ride home. So, hopefully, all of you have decent cars to where they're not giving you problems. If you have a car that you want to get rid of, save up the money, try to find something decent. If you got to go through a dealership, hey, like I said, take somebody that you know who knows shit about cars. Drive it. Find out what's wrong with it. Don't let them like fucking sweet talk you and all that shit, cause that's when they have you in the fucking trap. And just make sure that it's something that you really, really, really want. I should have got more of this from my mom, cause she was somebody who was like, if you didn't have what she wanted, she was getting off that fucking lot, and you would not see her again. I've seen this firsthand, and I was actually with my mom at the time when this happened, where my mom liked trucks. She always liked trucks, SUVs. I think the only cars that she ever really had, she had a Thunderbird. She had two Mustangs before, and I think she had another like car before. But I know mostly she had like SUVs and trucks. But my mom was looking for a Chevy Avalanche, which I wanted that car so much after I left Mississippi, but it's all fucked up. But she wanted a distinct one because she worked at a place where one of the people that she worked with, they had a black one. Another guy had like a blue or gray or something one. She wanted something that was different and unique, which is something that should literally be said. It's like I want something that is gonna not stand out too much, but be different. I see people around here where they have like fucking spearmint colored cars. I'm just like, that's standing out a little bit too much. Like, just a little bit too much. And, she goes to a dealership, tells the guy, and he's trying to sell her on some like charger. She was like, no, that's not what I want. Then we're trying to get her a fucking Envoy. And she was like, no, it's not what I want. If you can't give me what I want, I'm gone. This guy was calling every single dealership to try to find what she wanted. He would not let us leave. We had left the flea market in Chicago, trying to wanted to go get something to eat. He would not let us leave at all. Like, we were stuck there. He ends up finding her this truck. We go all the way to like fucking Frankfort, Indiana, to go see this damn car. She likes it. They drive it back to, I think it's like Allsip or whatever in Illinois. They drive it all the way back. She signs the paperwork and shit like that. We were there from like 10 o'clock in the morning, like 10, 11 o'clock in the morning until like they were about to close. Like, this guy would not let us leave. He was trying to make sure that my mom got what she wanted and he can get that sale. Do I respect him for it? A little bit. But I'm like, dude, just let us go get us something to eat. How about that? I'm like, you can still get this sale. Let us get something to eat. Oh God, that's a little frozen treat for you. That was one of the craziest days, like that I spent with my mom, and I will never forget that experience of just being there, starving, and watching this guy just losing his mind, trying to get a sale because my mom is like just not giving him the fucking time of day, and also the fact that my mom was just like, oh, I had a full tank of gas. I should have drove around a little bit more. Yeah, if you're selling a car, don't have it on a full tank. Like, make sure you driving that bitch around for a bit, or siphon that shit out or something. I don't know. But that's gonna be it for the podcast. I did my hour. I know most of it was just rambling, but let me know how you are with cars. If you are a terrible haggler, if you're a great haggler, if when you get a car, you know exactly what you want, or if you're like me and it's like, hey, I need something to get around. Let me know. Let me know if you are someone who is getting a fucking Uber and a Lyft, so I can ask you questions like, are you fucking crazy, and how much are you fucking making? Because there should be no way in hell you are fucking doing this on a like. There's no way you should be doing this on a fucking regular basis, unless depending on where you live. Like let's have conversations. I want to hear from you guys. Once again, you know where you can find me. Everything is Negative Degree Podcast. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram is Negative Degree Pod. Join the Discord, Negative Degree Podcast. Join the Frozen Wasteland. Let's have conversations. It doesn't have to be fucking dark and crazy like that. We can have realistic fucking conversations. Like, just because it says negative degree doesn't mean negative. Like, negative is just, to me, is realistic shit that's happening in life. I'm not talking about how shit suck. Well, I mean, life does fucking suck, but that's life. You know, I want to have conversations. I want people to tell me like what topics that they want to talk, that they want to hear from me, and we can have these things. I'm gonna try to have more guests on. I've been trying to have my friend Sora on here. She's been busy with stuff. Trying to get Cassandra back on here, but she's been hella busy. Jake is gonna be back on sometime soon. Try to talk to him. He's been having a go. Try to get some more people to do more like the customer service industry talks. Jake would be really good on that one because, like I said, he's a bartender and does other stuff. Trying to get some more females on here too. Well, sorry, more women, because I've been told saying females is some neck beard shit. So sorry. Having more women on here of all varieties. You know, you saw Yami on here. Probably gonna try to get her back on here too to talk about just random different shit. I think she used to be in the military, so that's something we can talk about too. Try to get some other friends who do stuff. I got friends who are fighters and boxers. I got people that I know, like acquaintances who are in the music industry. They're not like super high level like mainstream people, but want to get them on here. You know, tell me, you know, how they got into the stuff and how they feel about it, because it's all fucking customer service. Like, we can't get to where we are in life without people. And I'll be honest, a lot of you fucking suck. A lot of you do. I'm sorry. If you're watching this, you probably don't. I don't know. You might be watching this and you probably do. Hopefully you're not. I'll put it like that. If you're watching this, hopefully you are a decent person who isn't doing dumb shit. You know, we all do fucking make mistakes. I do the shit too. But hopefully, if you're watching this, you're not a fucking dickhead. Like, watching this or listening to this, you're not a fucking dickhead person who listens to this and be like, hey, you're right. And then you go out and do the opposite of what I've been saying. But let's have conversations. Leave comments. Discord link is in the description below. Follow that. Like I said, join the Frozen Wasteland. Let's have conversations. You know, talk about crazy shit. But that's going to be me. That's going to be my time. Again, I am DJ Frostbite for the time being, because I have a little bit of surprise for you about a name change. But, as always, stay negative, my friends.